We'll have one final one, and this comes from Prateek and says, both finalists have similar team compositions, 7 bowling options, a deep batting lineup consisting of a top order, all-rounders and a batting order not set in stone. Does India need to build in this direction too? And probably the only way we can assess it or look at it is by looking ahead to India's next campaign, which is coming up very shortly. Just in case you thought that they were all set to go home, there were memes going around about an Air India flight back to India. That's not going to happen. For some maybe, but they're going to be taking a flight across the Tasman to New Zealand. This is the India tour of New Zealand. They're going to start with 3 T20Is. Wellington is the first game on November the 18th. That's the end of this week. And then moving on to 3 ODIs in Auckland, Hamilton, and then in the South Island in Christchurch. So in context of that question, Parthiv, is there something that India can be looking at purely in terms of composition of the side? We'll have a look at the squad shortly.
Yeah, I think that he'd asked about 7 options. I think India would do at this point with 6 options. I don't know about this 7, but you obviously need to do something. In T20 format, you need at least one of your bowlers to a batter to give you a couple of overs, 1 over, to have that cushion like England had in Moeen Ali. Now, Pakistan had 6 options. Pakistan did not have 7 options. England had those 7 options. But yeah, I mean, if one of your top order batsmen can give you a couple of overs, that gives a great balance to the side. If you look at the world champion sides, just India's world champion sides, if you look at 83 World Cup team was full of all-rounders. If you see 2011 World Cup team, which had Yuvraj Singh bowling, you had Virendra Sehwag bowling, you had Sachin Tendulkar, Suresh Raina, Sachin Tendulkar, Yusuf Pathan. So those are the top batters, but they'll give you a couple of overs. So if you want to become world champions, you have to have those batters who can give you a couple of overs. That just gives that cushion to captain and to even bowler as well, gives them that option of attacking. So if a bowler has gone for, say, 15 runs in first over, if he knows that there is no one can complete my overs, yes, I am having a bad day. If there's no one to complete my overs, but I can still attack in my second over and try and get a couple of wickets so that it's easier. So to me, I think India's batters, or even in domestic cricket everywhere, if you want to get into Indian side, I think you should start bowling. You'll have a first option of getting into the team.
Well, there's a few names that are going to be missing on that flight to New Zealand, and just to put it in perspective, before we show you the squad, or we can show you the squad and mention it at the same time: KL Rahul, Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli, Mohammad Shami, Ravichandran Ashwin, Dinesh Karthik and Akshar Patel from the people who were in the main 15, and Shardul Thakur, Ravi Bishnoi and Deepak Chahar, who were the standbys, all of whom have not been selected. Not selected, rested, etc. Now, Zaheer, this is the squad that is going.
Well, I think, it's the modern day cricket which we're looking at, isn't it? So the World Cup is over today. 13th, you're playing the next series pretty much within a week. So that is how the game is evolved, and that's how the tours are being scheduled now. So it's about just moving from one to another. Who is getting selected, who is not getting selected is at times can become tough to keep track of. So I think for all the support bowlers who were there part of the World Cup, they've also gone through the whole process and the grind. They may not be the part of the playing squad, but they've been with the team. So must be some thought process around that, because Indian team did go about 20 days before the tournament started as a preparatory phase. So for them, this is a long time away from home. So I'm sure that had accounted for in the selection. So I would presume that those guys also rested from that. From the World Cup side, someone like Bhuvi is a surprise. Like when you're looking at all the experienced players being rested for this series, but Bhuvi's still gone. So the request maybe has made from Bhuvi that he wants some game time. He's been missing some games leading up as well. I'm talking about the whole last couple of years or so. So I think that's something which was evident. Hardik will have to wait and see now how he goes on about taking the responsibility of being captain. Rishabh Pant, you are expecting that some game time for him. He's someone who's not played the whole campaign in World Cup, so he would be looking forward to go out there. Deepak Hooda is another name which is coming to my mind. who's been around that playing 11, waiting for that opportunity. And the two new openers, since Rohit and KL is not there, so you will see Ishan Kishan and Shubman maybe starting the innings for Indian team. Sanju Samson might be at number 3, or Surya Kumar might be at number 3. So that's the way it's looking to be. Shreyas Iyer is someone who has been itching to get that opportunity now. He must be disappointed that he's missed the flight to the World Cup. So these are all the names which are definitely going to be there in the Indian cricket circuit for a while. Arshdeep will be taking things forward from the World Cup confidence which he's got now. He had a very impressive World Cup. So all these guys now we are looking at from the future of Indian cricket. How these guys shape up is going to matter. How Indian cricket is going to evolve in this format. So you have to keep a close eye on each and every individual, and for each and every individual in this line is going to be this series is going to be of a lot of importance. For them to cement their place in the side and make that mark at the international level.
Well, so he's already started up by getting Shubman Gill to pad up first, along with Ishan Kishan. But if we put that squad up, Parthiv, if you can get us the first 11, I reckon even Yuzvendra Chahal is tired of wearing that bib. He's probably thrown it in the bin somewhere in Australia.
And Harshal Patel with him as well. Harshal Patel also hasn't had a game. Yeah, it will be interesting to see. Zach said Ishan Kishan. Rishabh Pant, the Indian team has been using him as an opener. But
so Parthiv, the keeper, you take all 3 keepers?
It will be very difficult to fit in all 3 keepers into playing 11. Once you do that, then just say 3, 4, 5 or 2, 3, 4. Then you can either only play Shreyas Iyer or Deepak Hooda. Then Hardik Pandya comes in. Then obviously you need Washington Sundar at 7, someone who can give you that bowling option. So I doubt whether India will go with 3 keepers to start with in first playing 11. But it will be interesting to see what kind of approach they are going to adopt, because we always have been talking about we've been conservative in the way we are playing in power play. We were very, very aggressive before the World Cup started, and then we went the other way in the World Cup. So it will be interesting to see whether India is taking that thing in account and putting in an aggressive opener with Shubman Gill. Shubman Gill is a steady opener. He's not, by no means, he's not someone who will give you that 150, 160 strike rate straight away. So they want Ishan Kishan and Rishabh Pant who's opening. So that's something they'll look into. And interestingly, Deepak Hooda got into this side because he could bowl. So because he could give you those couple of overs. So I think that's this another 5-6 months is interesting for Indian cricket. Whether are they reviving a T20 format or whether they want to go the other way and try and get all the youngsters in. But all the players who are picked have been around and they've done really well. So for their future, I think this is very, very important series.
I mean, Arshdeep and Bhuvi are sort of coming up with a bit of match fitness. The big question was, in the words of Brett Lee, he felt that you had a sports car sitting back in India and you should have brought Umran Malik for this particular World Cup. Well, he didn't come for the World Cup, but he is in the squad. Does he start for you in game 1?
Well, it depends on the conditions. I think Arshdeep and Bhuvi for sure will start. Hardik is going to be the third seam option. In New Zealand, you've usually seen that teams will go in with 4 bowling options. Now that 4th bowling option is Harshal Patel, who has been part of the World Cup, or you're going to get Umran Malik, or Kuldeep is also there, right?
Kuldeep
Yadav is there. Yeah. So Kuldeep Sain is in the ODIs.
He is in the ODIs.
Okay. So basically, that's the call. Between Harshal and Umran. You want the express pace, or you want someone who can slow things down. You can use the mixture of slower ones. That has been Harshal's strength. Contributes with the bat as well. So that is the call which they will be taking. But I think I'm seeing they will need at least four seam bowling options in New Zealand conditions.